Hi guys, game over. FTX Group finally filed for Chapter 11 in the United States, and it is not regarding only FTX International, but a whole group of FTX that is about 130 companies, so different companies. In this video, I will show you which are these companies and what does it mean also for the market, because guys, it's not yet over and something more will happen. I will discuss with you exactly what I'm expecting, what is the kind of defense that I'm using in order to defend my funds, and also on the other side, what are the other projects that are involved, because remember guys, also FTX and Alameda were directly involved with other projects. So it means that they have invested in some of them and they are still having some tokens. Not to mention that also the projects that received this money, maybe they could have this money deposited into FTX, or maybe it was also Alameda that was managing them. And that's really important to know which are these projects, because this could literally affect the whole market. So stay tuned because we will go through all of this. Just before to start, guys, remember that this channel is about educational content and nothing has to be intended as financial advice. And don't forget also to leave us a big thumbs up and drop a comment. That's the best way to help us. And also, if you want to know more about cryptos, don't forget to subscribe to our weekly newsletter. You can find the link into the right corner here or also into the description below. And if you want to support us or if you want something more for us, you can also check all the links down below. Okay, guys, so let's start immediately. FTX. I don't know, guys, if you follow the story since the beginning, but it's literally an insane story. Aside from the bank run at a certain point pushed FTX to the Chapter 11, the point is that it's not ended here, because just yesterday there was on Telegram a big announcement by FTX that was saying, guys, simply delete the FTX app and don't use FTX because we were hacked. And it's quite weird. And someone, like in this case BitBoy, is saying, guys, don't delete it because they are just trying to delete proofs. So that looks like the trick. Is it true? Is it not? I don't know. What I know is that literally the story is insane. And just yesterday it happened that around 400 million of USDT were withdrawn from FTX and are gone. No idea where. Someone is saying that behind these movements there is FTX itself, some insiders. Someone is saying this is just a black hat. I don't know. And at the end, it's not so important. What is important to understand is that literally one story is that what we are seeing when we are using any kind of platform, another story is the behind the scene that can be literally completely different. And that's the main risk, and that's the main warning that I want to send to you guys. Pay attention, because what FTX taught us is that even if the platform could be good, and personally speaking, it was good, the point is that it's not sufficient. It's not giving us enough certainty about the kind of ability of this platform to prove itself during a bank run. And personally speaking, I'm also quite not in favor of all this story about like Binance, but it's regarding any kind of exchange. Right now they are saying our commitment to transparency. And for example, if you go on here CoinGlass, you will find crypto exchanges assets, but the same kind of dashboard is something that you can find on Nansen or DeFi Llama. Many of the different tools are running just to offer you this kind of proof of reserves. The point is that they are saying literally nothing. Okay, Binance is having something like 66 billion. Okay, nice, but how much money users deposited inside the platform? Because one story is that if users deposit something like 50 billion, so they are expecting to be able to withdraw just 50 billion and they are having 60, perfectly fine. It means that they are having much more money than what they have to give. Another story is that if users deposited 100 billion, in this case, if you have 60 billion, even if they look so big, so much money, they are not enough to satisfy the appetite of all the people that deposited money into Binance. So guys, again, don't be fooled by this number. The reality is that right now you should defend yourself, and you should remember that not your keys, not your cryptos. It's not just a claim, it's not just a slogan, it's the reality. It's much better to keep your crypto safe into your wallet. Obviously, be aware of you have to save your seed phrase. You need to use, if it's possible, a dedicated browser. and all the different kind of stuff that is much better in order to defend yourself. If you want to know more how to defend yourself when it's coming to use a wallet, let me know it into the comment section. Going on, I'm not saying that it's bad using a centralized exchange. I'm just saying that you should use a centralized exchange for a single reason. If you want to trade, and if you are a trader, that's normal. If you want to use derivatives and if you want to have some kind of performances, right now, centralized exchanges are offering performance that are much higher than any other DEX. So for this reason, it's perfectly fine to use Binance, Crypto.com, Bitget, Bybit, or whatever is the exchange that you are using. Personally speaking, I'm still wondering which of the exchanges I will use in the next future, and that's something that I will keep you posted in one of my next videos. Right now, guys, remember, checks are good for trading, that's fine, but not to custody, not for the custody of your cryptos. If you want to keep safe your cryptos, you have to keep them into your wallet if you don't want to trade them into the short term. So pay attention to that. Going back to the FTX story, because as I was telling you, it's much worse than what I was expecting and what all the people expected. There has been other two happenings that has been completely insane, and I'm not even sure that they are legal. First of all, they allowed people from Bahamas to withdraw their funds. Quite weird. So at a certain point, we had a situation where people from Bahamas were withdrawing money from other people just using the NFT feature. So it was like the person that was living in Bahamas was putting on sale a specific NFT, and people that wanted to have their funds withdrawn were simply buying that NFT, giving the money to the person who were in charge to withdraw the money. Another story that has been completely insane has been the partnership with Tron. So at a certain point, they allowed people that were having TRX and so on to withdraw their funds. So why? And that's the reason why also on FTX we have seen the price of Tron and all of these assets that has been literally going crazy. So the story is quite weird, and we will have to wait for the legal procedures. What I can say, you guys, is that it will take a really long time. And unfortunately, the best thing to do in this moment, even if I know that it's not easy, is to forget about it. Wait, we will hope that possibly into the next future, it can even take years. And that's the main problem. Hoping that at that time we will be able to retrieve something. Until now, in this moment, what matters is managing your cryptos that you still have, and on the other side, understanding that the worst could be yet to come. For example, I want to share with you this paper here, this spreadsheet, and it is showing all the investments by FTX from one side and Alameda from the other side. As you can see, there are many different players. It simply means that they were giving money, they were funding other companies, other projects in order to push them to grow. And they were giving them this amount of dollar. The point is that we don't know, due to their relationship with these projects, this money that were going to these projects were just held into FTX, were managed by Alameda, or the project were completely fully in charge and they having their funds into their bank account or something else. That's just a speculation. I'm not saying that all of these projects are facing difficulties due to the collapse of FTX. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that right now the level of transparency that we are seeing to the market is not enough. So it's much better to explore the market in order to understand which are the potential threats instead of being surprised if something bad will happen in the future. So be ready for any kind of scenario. So give it a look to this list just to have a better understanding which are the players that are involved. If you want to know more about each project, I highly recommend you to use, for example, Crunchbase, or you can use also DeFi Llama, just to understand how big is this amount of money compared to the whole amount of money they have collected during the last couple of rounds. And also check, obviously, if you have exposure, if you're interested into this project, check their Twitter account to check what they are saying in this moment. And as always, listen from everyone, but don't trust nobody, because in this moment, everything is so volatile, so really smooth that it's impossible to say where the truth is standing. Going on, I want to share also which were the holdings of Alameda. I will share with you all the links into the description below so you can check them by yourself. And going on, this is also the representation just in figures, so you can see it with images, which are different kind of investments. And the reason is because from one side, I was telling you, okay, from the financial point of view, the project, that's something that's pretty important to understand where the money are right now and if the project has still the availability of the funds. On the other side, what we need to understand is where Alameda or FTX holding a big bag of the different tokens, because if the answer is yes, well, it is possible that in the moment when the liquidator will come, it is possible that they will simply sell this token just to have a full amount liquid, completely liquid. And that's a big problem, obviously, because it's bringing selling pressure. I'm not saying that it will happen for all of these projects. I'm just saying that, guys, pay attention because the situation is pretty critical. Final thought. Remember another thing, guys, that the kind of effects that this kind of situation will bring to the market, it is something that will be understandable only in the next couple of weeks, 1 month, or even 2. For example, just to give you an overview, what happened with Terra Luna in May, the real collapse in terms of market cap on crypto, it is something that happened in June. Yes, I know, at that time there was also the inflation, the interest that was simply spiking and so on. But the reality is that the contagion is something that is literally requiring a lot of time. And the player that just failed was a big player with a whole of something, someone is saying around $10 billion. So the amount of money that are missing is quite big. So the kind of effect could literally be able, not saying to destroy the industry, because I don't think that it will, but on the other side, it can affect the price by a lot. I wouldn't be surprised to see another big crash, flash crash, just about 30, 40, 50%. It's not something that I'm saying that it will happen. I'm just saying, guys, pay attention because it is possible. I'm not saying that it will happen tomorrow, but just take it in account in a moment when you are building your own strategy. Personally speaking, I'm just liquid. I'm reducing the exposure to any kind of token or crypto. I'm just using stablecoin. And also in this case, pay attention that if a project, if a bridge like the one that happened on Solana is being affected by this kind of happenings, all the tokens like the SOBTC that were just a wrapped version of BTC, maybe they could be not anymore backed. So it's much better also in the moment when you're holding any kind of asset to hold it into the right chain. Bitcoin on Bitcoin chain, Ethereum on Ethereum chain, Solana on Solana, BNB on BNB, and also the different stablecoins. Be assured that the kind of stablecoin that you have is not a bridged one. It's not one that is just a wrapped version, but it's the original one, because if it is a wrapped version, it means that in order to have value, it really need some collateral. It need to be backed by other cryptos, the same amount. Let's say that you are having a wrapped version of USDC on some smart contract or somewhere, they should have USDC, the real USDC. The point is that if any problem, hack, any problem or contagion, any kind of problem for the team, the project was just issuing that token is happening, that kind of party is something that it is possible not to be able to be granted. So pay attention also to that. Try literally to reduce the risk at the maximum. Obviously, that's just my opinion. Feel free to act as you want, but be aware of the risk because right now the situation is really delicate and really volatile. Guys, let me know what you think about this theory. Let me know in which moment, in your opinion, we will see if it will happen, obviously. I'm not saying that it will, but if, in your opinion, it will happen, when and what it will bring in this market and how it will affect it. Guys, let me know it in the comment section below. Don't forget to leave us a big thumbs up and drop a comment to support us. Thank you, guys, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye.